I think everything kind of happened a little fast on, at the end of the day, everything happened. But it was pretty fun, and I'm just more glad. I'm more proud of the team because, to pull yourself from bootstraps and go out there and, from a deficit like that and really come back and just the icing on the cake like that, it's an amazing feeling.
How much pride do you guys take on being able to figure out what they were doing, along their line in a moment like that?
We take pride in it, utmost pride, because, we're meeting in that every Friday. So every Friday we have a meeting on their field goal protection and their field goal block team. So when we go out there, everything that we've seen on film. And I'm sure that previous week y'all seen that they had a block too. So, all that stuff just comes with all that stuff. But, yeah.
And Jordan, we talked all offseason about your conditioning, how you wanted to take a new step here in your career, in your playing career. With that big moment in that game, was that almost a moment that you were proud of yourself for coming this far?
Honestly, that didn't really cross my mind. It was more so just being on the field and when a moment is needed like that I was more proud of because, everybody has different reasons of why they want to play. I just want to be able to impact the game any way I can, whether that's taking up a double team, whether that's blocking a kick, it doesn't really matter. So just to be able to be on the field when a game-changer play like that happens is just the most proud moment for me.
Does your approach change much with the Heat in Tampa?
Definitely. You have to – hey, Zack! Everybody, Zack Baun is going to his locker, interview him. Yeah, I would say, definitely the Heat is a factor that you have to account for. I don't care what team you play for. I don't care who you are. I'm sure even Tampa Bay has to account for the Heat sometimes. But, that's why we go in there. I'm sure in the bathroom there's probably 15 guys sitting in the sauna. So little stuff like that, just getting acclimated with the Heat, hydrating, eating right, fueling right, that's the most important thing. So going into this week, it's just more so just preparation and then also the X's and O's and everything.
Is that where the Peloton comes in?
We say that, but until you really go down there and feel it, it's the humidity. I'm sure if you've been to Florida, you understand how it is when you go down there. You never really prepare for it, especially being up here in Philly. But the most we can do is just sit in the sauna, sit in a hot tub, stuff like that, and just really try to get acclimated.
How much do those long drives in training camp help you from a conditioning standpoint to prepare for a moment?
Tremendously. And I tell Coach Sirianni that I really like it. As much as I hate them during the moment, they add up, and those pay dividends. When you playing in camp, it's 16, 18 play drives, and you're just sitting there dog tired, and you're like, holy moly, and then you have a drive where it's kind of 9 players or 8 players in the game. You're kind of man, this is nothing. We've been through this before. Compared to those 18 and 19 plays, it's kind of all right, you can breathe a little bit, you understand a little bit more, you can think, you can process things a little better when everything is kind of on fire and on the line. So definitely tremendous.
Peloton rides too? They help?
Yeah.
Situations like this?
Yeah. What's it called? I got a date with my Peloton around 9:30 when I get home. So, it's just all about being consistent and just keep it moving. If it's 30 minutes a day, I'm going to always advocate for stuff like that because, it helped me. And not even just for football, but I'm sure it can help anybody for life.
Still doing it?
Yeah. And you just have to keep doing it. You can't let yourself get too comfortable, especially in this league. It's a week-by-week league. You have to keep working because at the end of the day, everybody's working at the same time as you.
You were a walking Peloton ad.
A trainer-led initiative to be in the saunas this week?
Nah, it was really player, honestly. It was suggestion by the coaches, but I think all the players is just kind of taking it in there. And I'm sure if you go in there, we're all in there freestyling, we having fun. It's just sitting in the heat. You got a couple guys adding ice, adding water, swirling the fan in there. So it gets pretty hot in there.
Nick said that you probably get the play of the game this week. How does he present that?
It's a team meeting. He kind of goes through his players of the game week by week and stuff like that. Like I said, you only get 24 hours to kind of just really kind of live in that moment. But at the end of the day, we're on to Tampa Bay. Everything that happened last week is last week. I can only focus on today.
It seems like your teammates have been really excited for the level of play they've seen from you so far this year. What does that level of support mean?
This is what I do it for, the guys. So, when it was told to me that my role was going to be higher this year, I knew that I had to get in preparation of being on the field and getting in that mode and getting conditioned and stuff like that. So my biggest motivation is that I don't really want to let the guys down. And so, when you have that motivation, and no matter how the practice goes, you have a good practice, you have a bad practice, but, you keep working, and eventually, when the lights come on, you be prepared for that. And, I just really, when the guys say that they're proud of me, I mean, that's the biggest compliment I can receive because, I mean, those are the guys that work with me. They're here with me every day. They see me every day. They see the work that I've been putting in, and they've been putting in work together. I mean, it's not saying that we haven't been in the mud doing these box drills with Vic and stuff like that. So, obviously the work is showing, and I'm just really proud of the guys because, the more I can do, the more they help out. It's just a team. It's a collective defense, and that's what I want to say is we over I.
Well, Zach, the challenges of Baker Mayfield and this Bucs offense, what are you seeing on tape?
Yeah, it starts with the quarterback, a gamer for sure, always looking to make the big play, whether it's with his feet or throwing the ball. He trusts his arm, and he's a veteran. He's been in this league a long time to read defenses really well.
What are you happy with the performance of this defense so far going into this game undefeated?
I like our second half performances, not necessarily our first halves. I think we got to start faster. And that's been my message to the team before last game, and will be the same this week.
What goes into starting faster? I'm sure you can preach it in the meeting room, but how do you practice starting faster?
Yeah, just anticipating what may come. It's a true test of the result of what you're seeing in film study.
We saw you out there in practice today with the sleeve as opposed to a brace. Where are you now as far as that?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel really good. We tried out the brace yesterday just for precautionary measures if something were to happen, or just to have in the future as well. Just get fitted for a brace and see how I like it. Felt good today.
You feel good about Sunday?
I feel good. I felt good today. We'll see about Sunday. Yeah.
What happened to against the Rams?
I kind of got caught in the ground during one of the plays, and the pile fell on top of me.
Okay, I mean, you stay in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the game unless I really can't. Yeah.
Are you seeing any similarities between Stafford and Baker Mayfield at all?
I was thinking about that earlier this week. I think yeah. Gunslingers, I think the way you would put it. Same in that same category as like a old Brett Favre or like an Aaron Rodgers, where they trust their arm and they're confident.
What made you want to think about the comparison? You said you were thinking about thinking about the comparison.
Because you can always group quarterbacks together in similar styles, and yeah, I think. What do you think? Do you think they're similar?
I mean, like Baker's a little more fleet of foot than.
Well, yeah, but same gunslinger mentality, tough, reliable, and depend on their arm. Yeah.
You know the guys better than me. Don't put me on the spot.
You mentioned the second half of things, but this has been a trend for this defense going back to last year, where after kind of a drive or two, you guys kind of settle in. What is it? Is it Vic? Is it the defense? What is it that allows you guys, once you see them, to kind of stabilize thereafter?
I think with our scheme, it's so different than a lot of other team schemes that in other teams' first 15s plays, they game plan and they get to their spots early. They establish a tone, and we just got to be able to set the tone and not let them choose it for us.
But I imagine it says something that you guys can adjust midstream, right?
Yeah, once we get an idea of what they're doing and what they're trying to do, we can adjust quickly.
The heat's supposed to be a little bit of a factor. Do you remember a game where the Heat was
Tampa Bay last year? Tampa Bay last year? Besides that game, not really, honestly. But I think we as players, the coaches learned a lot, and they're preparing us a lot better, and we're preparing ourselves a lot better for this Heat.
Do you think there's something to getting down there a little bit early?
I think so, for sure.
Forgive me if you were already asked this. I came over a little late. Are you trending toward being ready for Sunday?
I'm feeling good right now. Yeah.
Well, AJ, going into this game against the Bucs undefeated, and you are obviously very involved in this offense in the meeting rooms. The running game, as of right now, a little hindered. What do you think is going into that?
I think the running game last year was very successful. Obviously, offensive line and the entire offense kind of having a part in that. Obviously, say running for 2,000. So I think at the beginning of the year, it's on everybody's mind to make sure that he doesn't run for that much, or our running game doesn't get going. So I think you're seeing a lot of stacked boxes, a lot of blitzes, trying to keep the running back in the backfield, not really let him get loose. But I think that's to be expected. But we got weapons everywhere, and you saw kind of when we turned it on last week, like what Jalen can do and get it to Devontae, get it to AJ and those guys out there, Dallas for the touchdown. So it's not like a one-dimensional as people think. So it's we got a lot of weapons on this team, so it's really scary.
Right, and you've seen a lot of football, and this was no surprise. We talked about it all offseason. They were going to try to stop Saquon Barkley in your guys' running game. How do you adjust now, knowing that they are seeing some success with that?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, and I think everybody's preached it from what we say in our meetings to the little stuff that I see in the media when I do check it is we don't care how the win. This is a very unselfish team, and it's more than just people say it in the media. It's actually how everybody goes about it. Nobody really cares in practice who gets the rep, if it's Will, me, Tank, say, like if who's run the ball. It's just can we win, can we get that first down? And so I feel like that trickles from top to bottom, starting with Nick, Howie, and those guys. And so, I feel like the biggest thing for everybody is getting a dub. And however we do that, whether it's 300 yards in the air or 300 yards on the ground, I think we'll find a way to do it.
Right. I think the outside narrative is you guys preach this unselfishness, but I think there's this narrative if Saquon Barkley doesn't get his yards, what's going to happen when he's so used to getting them? Have you seen him change at all?
No. If anything, I think it's made him more hungry. Obviously, like the guy's a competitor. That's when asked about it during off season and everything, was like, "What's it like being with Say?" It's like I knew he was a competitor, but getting in here, it's everything he does. Whether it's the meeting room or shooting baskets on the hoop that we have inside, whatever it is, he's gonna have that same approach. So I think obviously we're picking up a lot of protection. So he's like, "How can I get better? How can I block better? Or how can I read this better?" And so I think people think just his running game, because he's a running back, obviously, it's like, well, if he's not getting his yards, he's not contributing. Well, he's picking up blocks. He's letting stuff develop downfield. He's being a decoy on plays. So even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, he's making plays that are going unseen. So when you have guys like that, spotlight guys, same thing you think about like last year. I wasn't part of the team, but Smitty and AJ, two of the best receivers in the league. Say runs for 2,000, but because of a lot of the stuff they did behind the scenes that doesn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. So I think, like I said, unselfish, but he definitely didn't change. If anything, just really becoming even more of a leader from what I've seen.
Well, Jordan, coming off that game, the second half, that offense, obviously much better than the first. How are you carrying that over this week?
Just making sure that we can, once we're able to effectively communicate, lock in to our detail and execute. You see, we were a whole different team. So carrying those same adjustments that we made and just starting off the week like that, making sure that we're overemphasizing once again. I think an offensive line, we kind of overcomplicate things sometimes. And so I think this week, just making our process real simple, real easy, making sure that we're communicating so that the detail and execution can be at a high rate.
Right, and the passing game is definitely a key concept this week, but you were talking to us post-game about the pass protection, how a lot of people don't look into that. Mm-hmm. How does that affect the creativity of the passing game? And I'm sure people don't realize it a lot of times.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Ash. Don't know about the creativity of the passing game because I don't know anything about that. However, I do know if we don't give time to our QB, it's always bad news, Barrett. So I think for us up front, again, we know who we have this week in Todd Bowles and how much of a evil genius he is. He's one of those just evil geniuses that can design anything of everything. And so, and I think for us, again, it's all about identifying what we're seeing up front, how we, the plan that we have, how we can go out there and effectively communicate that, which is kind of cool because we look like actors out there trying to do sign language. We're trying to simulate it's going to be loud down there, so,
And going against Todd Bowles, what have you taken away from these past experiences? What are you changing this time around, knowing what's going to come for you?
What am I changing? Shoot, I'm gonna get off on the count, block my guy, and hopefully, when it comes to picking up the blitz, we do a great job. We get to what we need to get to. And we get that ball out. So I don't want to give away the game plan. So
Fair enough.
Come on, girl.
I apologize. I don't want to expose you.
Hey,
Tell us all your secrets, yes.
This is what we're doing.
Well, one thing we did talk about all off season was knowing that teams were going to try to stop Saquon Barkley in this running game. Now that it is somewhat working this season, how have you guys adjusted?
Man, they're doing a great job of just again understanding what we're trying to do up front. And what lanes they're trying to take away from us. I think we're doing a great job of just, again, adjusting and using Jalen as well, reminding them that we have a dual threat QB. So that can alleviate some pain as well, especially when we're not doing so well up front. I'm sorry.
What was the experience like watching the first half versus the second half on film?
Oh, it was a horror show. I'm grabbing. Oh, this is bad.
Is everything okay?
It was a horror show. The first half, it was just kind of like, man, we looked like a whole different team. And then second half rolls around, you're like, yeah, this is a whole different team. This is us. This is what we know how to do and how to play football. And so, completely two different teams watching from first half to second half, but we're certainly happy with how we found our groove again in the second half, and we're able to put out some really good football, because it was.
Has the messaging been about being the aggressor, not letting the opponent dictate the terms, but getting after?
I would say that, yeah.
So where's that coming from?
Where's that coming from?
Yeah.
If you're asking that, you don't know. I'm not going to be the one to leak it.
You said overcomplicate things, the offensive line. What do you think you guys were overcomplicating?
Just the different looks that we get. There are, so many calls that look the same, so many fronts that look the same, and so sometimes you can make the wrong call, or the splashing of the water. They show like they're blitzing, but then they don't. Sometimes we're just overcomplicating things. We're just making two different calls at the line, and sometimes we weren't on the same page with the right play. So.
You call Todd Bowles an evil genius.
Evil genius.
What does he kind of like change things up every time you face him?
Oh, he bring everything. He's not scared to bring the house over and over again. Different looks too. He can bring Saul. He can bring Cat. He's just not. Yeah, he's not afraid to show it and then bring it. Show it, not bring it, and then bring two other different guys as well as the fall down. It's a fun game. It really is. I mean, when you watch the film, you're just like, man, how does this guy keep getting away with it?
So, how do you counteract that? Like, every time he seems to have something for you.
Well, like I said, the plan. Hopefully, this plan that we have, we can go out there and execute. Just like any other plan that we've had in the past 3 weeks, I'm really hoping that we can execute this week.
AJ Brown, go ahead.
How much do you think the first 3 weeks helped you? Because people have been bringing it more than even normal.
Yeah, I think probably that same attitude of let's be the aggressor, let's be more I guess physical up front and be more communicative. I think just from the last few weeks has been very educative. Very educative. Just to see what we can get to and what we're missing up front. Oh my God, this baby cramp is killing me. I'm sorry.
But take a break.
I'm trying to get this done. But I'm just the last 3 weeks have been great. Just from I shouldn't say great, but educative purposes. Yeah, it's been good to see what we're not doing good and what we're doing good.
Sorry, one more before the cramp. AJ Brown talked to us about how when you're seeing something on offense, it's not working, banging your head against the wall, insinuating this running game. From your conversation on the sideline, how do you see that shift when it's just not going to work in that game?
I guess you just keep banging your head till something works. You got to stay positive on the sideline, and I think we have a great coaching and player relationship where we're always in constant communication, and so we're just again on the sideline trying to figure out why plays aren't working. Is it execution? We're talking, trying to figure out this is the call that was made. Did you guys get it along the line? Did you echo it to the tight ends and the wide receivers? And just building that up front on the sideline, just again making those adjustments to try and win the game. And so I thought we got there in the end. We got to get there faster or not get there at all.